Macintosh here, and today we're going to go over the brand new macOS Catalina 10.15.7 update. This update came out today on September 24th, 2020 at around 12 noon Central Standard Time. And actually, it was a pretty big surprise. In the past, Apple has only released macOS updates to about the dot release of point 0.6. We actually have to go all the way back to macOS 10 Snow Leopard to get past point 0.6, and actually it was released all the way to 10.6.8, and that was 9 years ago. And what's interesting is Apple still has that very update available for download if you want to go through a little nostalgia. And you can see it was released on January 25th 2011. It was 1.9 gigabytes. I actually pulled up the Rob Observatory, and Rob Griffiths, keeps track of all the macOS updates all the way back to the very first release of public beta. So that's what I wanted to double check. I want to say, well, hey, when was the last time actually Apple ever did this? And that's where we got to go all the way back to 2009, right here on Snow Leopard 10.6.8. And as you can see, Lion goes to 10.7.5. Mountain Lion goes to 10.8.5, and all the way through to LCAP, where they actually stop at point 0.6. And that was one of the first times they went kind of past 5 since Lion. And then 13, 14, and all the way here to Catalina, they went to 6. And you can kind of see when we scroll up here some of the supplemental updates that have come out. Look, you can see multiple supplemental updates, and you can see how it gets a little confusing. Wait a minute, it's 10.15.4, but wait, oh, is it the 10.15.4 supplemental update? Oh, it would have been easier if they just would have said 10.15.5 here, 10.15.6, 10.15.7, 8, and 9. Kind of like what they did all the way back down here on Tiger. Tiger went all the way to 10.4.11. That was very organized, and I think a lot of people would agree that's the way to go. So hopefully Apple continues to do that even into Big Sur. So let's get back to the update here, and let's go over what's new. You can see here that I always take the time to go over the update and put everything into one article here. I try to save you time so you don't have to go over looking for download links, the patch notes, the security notes. I put it all into this article to keep it all in one place for you, to try to save time for you. This particular update only has 3 OS level fixes. Normally, Apple does fix more things than just what's listed on the documentation or the developer notes. I wish they would put every single fix in there, but they don't, and we just have to kind of deal with what they actually tell us is fixed. So back to the 3 fixes that we have here. One of the issues was that it resolved an issue where macOS would not automatically connect to Wi-Fi networks. And this is actually, I've seen some of the complaints in the Apple discussion forums on this. So hopefully that resolves the issue for a lot of the users that were having that issue. The second issue was fixes an issue that could prevent files from syncing through iCloud Drive. I haven't seen this issue or anybody kind of report it. So again, that's good that it fixes that, especially if you're trying to back up and make sure your files are syncing. So hopefully that's resolved here. And the third one addresses a graphic issue that may occur on the brand new 2020 5K 27-inch iMac with a Radeon Pro 5700 XT. And this is actually the second graphics fix that Apple has released. The last one came in the 10.15.6 supplemental update. There was some glitching in the software, so they fixed that too. So hopefully this is the last one for that particular model, and it's all fixed up now. So that's it for the OS level fixes for 10.15.7. I do have, this just came in, that I actually just retweeted here. You can see, if you follow me, you can follow me on Twitter. I post all the updates on there to keep you informed. So this is one of the ones I retweeted from Nathan, who said that he was contacted by Apple, who said that the MDM enrollment issue that was plaguing some people where they had MacBook Airs, and the MacBook Air would actually heat up and actually have throttling issues causing problems with the MDM enrollment. and he just mentioned here in this tweet that that is fixed in 10.15.7. So that's great news, especially for people who have a bunch of those MacBook Airs and they're bringing them through enrollment. So that's another fix, but that wasn't actually in the patch notes. So that's why I try to put all these little things that I find out in the article, and I'll update this article with that soon, that I find. And I always update the articles after when I find things like that to keep you informed. I have a bunch of different links here to Apple's documentation with their release notes and the previous updates that they have listed here. I also keep track of every single previous release that Catalina has had over its lifespan. And actually, 10.15.7 is the 21st release of Catalina. And you're going to think to yourself, what the heck, 21st release? Well, I keep track of all of the shipping, the brand new hardware shipping forks. And what that means is that when Apple ships a brand new piece of hardware, sometimes they'll ship it right in the middle of a release cycle. So let's use an example. In 10.15.3, in the middle of 10.15.3, they released the new MacBook Air 2020. So, and that was released with a very particular build version, 19D 2064. And that means that you could not install, let's say you wanted to reinstall macOS, you could not just take the standard 10.15.3 19D76 installer and install it because it didn't have the drivers built in. You had to wait until March for 10.15.4, and that's what would be considered a universal build. It would have contained those drivers, and you would have been able to install that. So I've documented all that, and you can actually see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different hardware releases with different versions of Catalina. So I wanted to document that all so you can keep track of that, especially when you're getting these new pieces of hardware in and they come with a weird build number. And you're thinking to yourself, what the heck is this? You can come here and you can keep an eye and see when that was released. In this section, I talk about the different kinds of updates that you can get. There's usually 2 different updates that you can get, and it all depends on what version that you're running. If you're running, let's say you're running 10.15.6 right now, you're going to get what's called the Delta update. And that's smaller in size because it doesn't have to contain all of the fixes that the combo update has to do. And the combo update means that if you have a machine, let's say you have an old machine that's on 10.15.1, well, this combo update, which is, as you can see, larger in size, 4.78 gigabytes, it includes all the fixes from the previous releases from 10.15.0 all the way to 10.15.6. So that's why there's 2 different ones. When you use software update, it's smart enough to detect what you have and give you the right one. So you're not going to really see, it won't say Delta or Combo. So like if we go into system preferences right now and we take a look at software update, we can actually see which one we have. We're running 10.15.6 right now. So you can actually see when we click more info, it's the 2.84 gigabytes. So we've got the Delta because we're on 10.15.6. We can open up terminal. We can just do SW and you can see we're 10.15.6, 19G 2021. So that's why we are getting the Delta update. So that's the update, the 2 combo. We got an updated full installer app too. And I've got a link here to the App Store to get that. That's real easy to just go there and it'll automatically download the full installer. And this particular full installer is 8.75 gigabytes. And you can make your USB installer. You can just use this to reinstall macOS. I also document the T2 bridge update. So if you have a T2 Mac, and that's any Mac from 2018 or newer, is going to have the T2 chip, except the iMac. The iMac got the T2 chip in 2020. You're gonna have a separate operating system that runs your T2 chip, and I keep track of all those versions here. And normally in every release it is updated, and you have a new build version. But I'm telling you, this particular update on 10.15.7, it did not change. When I tore it apart, when I downloaded it and I opened up the package and I looked at the version P list, it actually calls out build version 6. So that tells me there could be some very small changes, but not enough to actually change the version, or it's possible that there is no changes to this particular bridge update. Normally in the past updates, you can see here the supplemental update was 16.610, and the previous 10.15.6 without the supplemental update was 16.065. I keep track of all of these on my Mac system, our system status page, and you can see this. This is a great link to keep an eye on all the updates. So you can see, I scroll all the way down here. I keep track of all the previous Bridgeo updates, and I show you what's retired, when the release date was, so and all the shipping forks too. Like here's the 2020 MacBook Air bridge fork. For some reason, let's say you needed to verify that. If you're stuck on a Bridgeo update, well, I've got all that listed here for you. So that's that. I think we just have the security releases left. Yep. So I have the links to the official support Apple documents for the main page for Apple security updates and the particular 10.15.7 update. Safari was not updated. It's still 14.0. And there was 2 security fixes that were released today. And one was for Model I/O, and that was available from High Sierra all the way to Catalina, including Mojave. And there was also a sandbox fix that was done for for 13, 14, and 15 also. Now, what's interesting is you want to keep an eye on this page too, because sometimes there's an agreement with the release where the fix was actually included in there, but they didn't want to publicly release this. And sometimes they'll release the actual piece later, and you'll see it in this page here. So that's why I included a link, and you'll see this page actually gets updated, and you'll see the published date change too. And they've done that multiple times in the past. So if you're trying to keep an eye on the security fixes, this is a way to keep on track for that. So that's it for 10.15.7. What did you think about the video? Does me going over these things kind of complement the article? Let me know in the comments. Did you install the update? Did it fix something that you were having an issue with? Let me know. I'll post it up here if that's something that was undocumented. Did you install the update and are having issues? Make a post and maybe I can give you a hand here. Like I said, follow me on Twitter if you want to keep apprised of all the latest going on of macOS. And I plan on doing more of these videos in the future. For example, I want to do one on Big Sur Beta 8. I want to do one on the security updates. Let me know. Are these helpful for you? Is the flow good? Would love to hear from you. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch today. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.